join me in welcoming back to the stage Renée Bergeron.
Hello, hello. I just love these panels. It was a lot of fun hearing about how advisors are achieving success with enterprise deal. Did anyone get some notes, took some tips? Yes? Yeah. All right, that's good. That's what it's supposed to be all about. Very good. So this panel is actually going to bring together leading providers. It should be a fun one because I'll tell you, this is not a shy group. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at trends. We're going to look at what are the trends that are going to shape our industry in the next 5 years. Obviously, we're going to talk about AI. It's difficult to be at any tech conference in this era without talking about AI. But we're also going to talk about evolution in distribution strategies, direct versus indirect. And we're going to talk about expectations from the providers as well, which should be of interest to all of you, I hope. So I would like to introduce the panelists. So first from Google, Chris Thompson. Chris. From CrowdStrike, we have Danielle Danieli. We've got those with you. From AWS, we have Mike Dowling. Woo. Woo. And saving the best for last, from AT&T, Josh Danielson. Welcome. Thank you. All right, please, let's get comfortable. And we're going to jump right in. And I think we're going to start by looking at the future. So I want each of you to pull out your crystal ball. And I'd like for each of you to share one trend that you believe will have a profound impact in the next 5 years. And I'm going to start with you, Chris, because I have this feeling that your inner voice is talking to you right now. And it's telling you, this could be my moment.
Right.
Over to you.
I think there's a moment for a lot of folks. And the trend that I see is certainly there's going to be some really cool developments. But if I look at it from perhaps across the enterprise, you have a lot of tech debt and things that need to get it resolved in order for AI to truly proliferate and be adopted at an advanced level. So at that same time, as companies are trying to do that, you're going to have this, and we've seen a resurgence of startups come in who are set up to adopt AI and do amazing things quickly. And so I think we're going to see the blockbuster Netflix moment where maybe Blockbuster doesn't progress as they should and Netflix comes in and you'll see some folks get toppled. I think it's going to be a very exciting time to see what comes out and who's the next unicorn that comes up.
Yeah, it's kind of accelerating even, how quickly all this change is happening. Mike, what are your thoughts?
You know, I think we're in the midst of a massive shift in the way that enterprises are buying technology. And Gen AI is absolutely accelerating the innovation that companies are trying to leverage. And, you know, it's really gone into overdrive, but I think the way that customers are getting technology into their hands is changed, right? Marketplace is really driving that in a great way. Big customers want to have things simpler, they want it faster, and Marketplace delivers. And I think the reason for that is that, you know, Marketplace is a central nervous system of a way that a company procures. And I think that's an ugly word, but it's a true word. And one of the things about that is that channel partner private offers allow partners to maintain that high-touch relationship with their customers and deliver at the speed of cloud. And this is channel's moment, right? ability for the channel to leverage the information they have about their customers. I mean, some of you guys have information about the entire IT stack for a company. No single vendor has that ability. And if you couple that with your expertise or industry knowledge, with marketplace first offerings, you're going to unlock a transformation with that customer and growth that you could only imagine. So I think that's what's happening in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's great to hear for all of us in the channel. But I think you're right. Having that capability of seeing, coming at it from a spend management standpoint, and a lot of our partners are also managing the technology on a managed services basis. It provides unique opportunities. So glad to hear about it. Daniel, your thoughts?
So one of the trends I'm really excited about is CrowdStrike and AppDirect getting a whole lot closer together. I was excited to see Bert, our CFO, join your board.
Yeah, great announcement that came out this week with the CFO of CrowdStrike joining the board of AppDirect.
It's very exciting. But I think in terms of the broader channel, I think there's a few things that are going to drive how we as providers are thinking about how we set up our channel programs. It is clear that the buying behavior of a customer is changing rapidly. Yep. They're consolidating to platforms. They're looking, to your point, looking to simplify how they're procuring technology, looking to simplify their stacks. And everything is being proliferated by IT. And so for us, we're looking very closely at, this isn't just about the transaction. There's many partners that are participating in the customer buying journey beyond just the deal getting done. And we've got to take context of all of that in the programs that we're building for the future. It's really exciting for partners and the opportunities that they've got to monetize these customer relationships beyond just the transaction itself.
And maybe doubling down on what you just talked about, which is not just about transacting. I'm starting to hear that more and more from providers. Is that something that is a factor in the design of your channel programs?
Big time. Gone are the days where it's just the transactional partner that's being rewarded. We've got consulting partners that are involved in deals. We've got service delivery partners that are involved in deals. We've got our tech ecosystem partners where we're integrating our technology with theirs, involved in deals and being rewarded along the way. So you could get to the end of a complex enterprise deal and have 5 or 6 different partner types all participating and enjoying in the spoils of that deal, but all playing a very critical role for the customer getting to the outcomes that they need.
Yeah, especially in the enterprise, as a segue to the previous panel. Josh, your thoughts?
Yeah, so I agree with everything that's said. I'm actually going to double down on something that Mike said that Nick talked about yesterday, which is it's the growth that complex technologies such as AI are actually causing in the market. So when you think about an entrepreneur historically. So in order for an entrepreneur to launch something new in the market, whether it's a product or a service, what did it take them? So historically, it would take them a lot of funding. It would take them human capital. It would take them a robust marketing plan, and it would take them time, like a considerable amount of time, sometimes months, many times years. And because of AI, because of the capabilities in AI, because of generative AI, where it can actually create new content, what it's done is it's actually taken this barrier to bring something to market from here to here. I think the term that Nick used yesterday was the development cycle of innovation.
Yeah.
The cycle of innovation has gone from here to here. And so what does that mean for all of us? You said it. It's the time is now for the channel, because we are going to see all of these businesses pop up in the market, and each of them needs to be served, and we're here to serve them. So it's really exciting.
Exciting, yeah. And you brought up AI. We've talked a lot about AI and how we're injecting artificial intelligence through our devs.ai platform into every aspect of the lifecycle management suite we deliver. I'd love to hear from your perspective, what do you see as the real impact that AI is happening, but for providers? So we've looked at it for the advisors, for the end customer. I would love to hear about your thoughts from a provider standpoint. Maybe Mike, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so, AI from a provider perspective, well, it's not a single lane. I don't see this as a single lane highway. It's a whole highway system lighting up all at the same time. The reality is when you're looking at partners and providers, the engagement that they have requires some knowledge. And I think what AI provides is the ability for them to put AI into the consultative approach that they have with their partners. So it changes the entire dynamic between a provider and a partner and a customer, because you're able to bring insight, intelligence, and innovation to the table, and that creates value, and that the partner and the customer sees that value, right? And it will really be the difference between you being a name in their inbox, right? Or a number on their speed dial.
Yep.
And that's important when something really big is going to happen. And the reality is, when you end up working with the AI tools that are part of these conversations, commercially, operationally, strategically, what you're able to do is find different ways to focus solutions and which partners that you want to work with. So, for example, we're moving at this incredible speed. The market is absolutely exploding. And rather than taking a scattershot approach where you're trying to do everything and creating solutions to solve for problems that may not be there, AI allows them, people to focus on these things. And let's be very clear. It is not meant to replace the human in this equation, right? The human connection is literally your unfair advantage. It's applying that knowledge, it's leveraging all of the ability to take that heavy lift of all the, grind, the repetitive tasks, to see the abilities that you can't see yourselves in the data. Allow that to then put your team together in such a way that you can focus on what really matters, right? What solutions are the right solutions, not just the loudest solutions. And then take that and focus those precious human resources on the things that matter, that really adds value to both the company that you're working with and the company that you're working for. And at the end of the day, it's about generating value that no one else can deliver. And at AWS, we're taking AI to actually hone our edge, right? But we're keeping human connection at the core, because that is what creates value that no one else can replicate.
Yeah, well said, well said. Chris, your thoughts on how AI is impacting provider? It could be from a commercial, operational, any perspective.
Yeah, I think you started off kind of talking about how at the enterprise, there's a lot of things that we have to undo. And if we go back and look at the conversation around AI, didn't exist outside of the traditional IT department, not even that long ago. And now it's in every boardroom, and now every CXO and every board is asking for, I need AI and innovation. Yep. And so where I see things shifting and the environment shifting is you're going to have customers that were traditionally trying to dump some of that tech debt or trying to perhaps digitally transform, and they kind of kick the can down the road a bit. And now AI is going to drive that and just act as gasoline to accelerate that. And so you have this moment in time where providers and partners traditionally may have been more focused in how do I do, move customers to the cloud, or how do I help them modernize their stack? And now it's how do I help them accelerate to allow AI to create innovation for that organization? Equally, you have partners and folks in the channel that are going to be shaped a little differently, where they can scale their organization through the use of AI, and they can create BDR and outreach programs, marketing content, and they can scale themselves quickly and compete with the larger organizations, and can go in and find niches to be able to help accelerate that AI adoption, AI acceleration. So it's going to be a very interesting race to watch and see, can companies come out of the dark ages quick enough, or are they going to get overtaken? And in the meanwhile, those customers or those companies that are smart about how they adopt the technologies, they can scale quick. And they can make an impact in the organization, and they'll be able to take off. So it's going to be, the next few years are going to be amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned scale. I mean, that it's true. From a partner perspective, having access to all of these tools is really going to enable them to scale in a way that's not been possible before, especially if you're not necessarily a large organization. Just your thoughts on the topic of AI impact.
AI. So I think, the really great thing about AI is it's finally not just the latest, greatest tech that's out there in the marketplace. AI is actually, it's a forcing function for the way that we reach our customers and the way we provide services. And the thing about AI that sometimes gets overlooked is that AI, the goodness of AI, is only as good as the infrastructure that supports it. I'm from the networking world, so we're pretty excited about that. But when you look at the potential goodness of AI, things like automation, things like having the ability to have real-time data analytics and work through them, intelligent edge, all of that is only possible if the network that's in place is the right network. So connectivity can't just be connectivity anymore. Connectivity needs to be scalable. It needs to be secure. It needs to have low latency. It needs to be able to move this data at high speeds in order to support everything that AI is doing. You said it yesterday, and I'm going to use those words because I love those words, which is connectivity is sexy again. That's great. We love to hear that. But I think the other thing about AI is it's not just changing the world of infrastructure. It's also changing that we serve our customers. Again, we talked about this quite a bit yesterday, but customers have choice. They have choice in the way that they can buy. So some customers want a completely digital experience. They don't want human intervention at all. They want the entire buy flow to be digital. And for that, your marketplace, the AppDirect marketplace, perfect place for it. Other customers are high touch. I'm a high touch person myself. I like personal interaction, but some customers want to have that human touch. And so for them, a trusted advisor, all of them, yes, all of them, thank you, want to have that personal touch where they want to work with an advisor or a trusted relationship that they know well, someone that they know that can design their environment, that can deploy it, and that they can day two manage it. And so the other thing that we're seeing, again, great news for the channel is the customer can get any of these choices served through the channel, which is fantastic. And then from a provider perspective, I think providers such as AT&T, as many of the ones up here, we are, at this point, we are channel first. And so it's a great place to kind of be in the marketplace serving all these clients.
Yeah, the stats are overwhelming when it comes to how AI and other IoT cloud technology require increased investment in communication, which I think is great news because a lot of our partners are specialized there, but it pulls them into other solutions. We've touched on the topic of distribution. Some of the research we did ahead of Thrive showed that 70% of the IT spend today is going through that distribution. Yeah. But we always wonder about how providers are looking at the sales channel, direct versus indirect. Are the lines blurring? Are they diverging? Mm-hmm. Daniel, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the lines continue to blur. As I said earlier, when we look at large opportunities, when we look at small opportunities, the types of partners that are touching them are so diverse, and where our opportunities originate from are diverse. And so we absolutely have to be thinking about new routes to market. And as we want to get into more and more customer conversations that we can't always be in ourselves, distribution and the networks of partners that they serve create an enormous amount of intelligence that we need to be tapping into. And so, one of the things I'm most excited about is where these marketplaces start to turn into intelligent marketplaces. You made the point, Mike, earlier about the data that's being assembled. the buying behaviours, the technology stacks. Marketplaces are a single aggregation point of all of that information. It's really exciting for us as a vendor to potentially tap into leveraging AI, leveraging that intelligence so that we can better plan our routes to market.
Interesting, very good. Chris, from Google's perspective, are the lines blurring? Are they diverging?
Yeah, I think the lines have been blurring for a while. Yeah. And you had a great point where you go into a large sale and you get to the end of that, you're going to be surrounded by others outside of your organization if you're doing it well. Mm-hmm. And I think it's naive to think that perhaps you can just solve everything, and instead looking more broadly to understand that there's an entire ecosystem to bring with you to truly solve those challenges. And I know that it's something I continue to harp on, or I've mentioned a few times already, but organizations that are going to leverage AI in ways that aren't just to create efficiencies in their business, but instead are to rethink how they do business, how they go to market, how they function, what different things they put into place, just thinking of it from the ground up in a completely different way. You said it, Mike, now is the time. Yep. And now is that time for companies to change the way that they're thinking about how they structure their business, the tasks they're asking people to do, the technology stacks they're building, and then their go-to-market strategies by including others and showing up and truly solving things as opposed to just trying to push something.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's kind of alignment that the lines are blurring between direct and indirect. So I'm going to double down on that. Does that present an opportunity for partners?
The biggest opportunity. It's the partner opportunity of a generation, because no longer do you have to be tied to the transaction, where historically that was the only way that you could monetize a customer relationship. Today we've got consulting partners who are being rewarded at the front end of the deal, scoping and designing the transition that a customer's got to go through to transform their organization. Our platform complexity now is requiring specialist service partners. We can't go and deliver our platform fast enough. And so there's partners who, again, we're not involved in the transaction, that are creating revenue streams for themselves after the fact. So I think it's a partner opportunity of a generation that's upon us.
Yeah. Chris, do you agree? Sorry.
Yeah.
Completely. We could keep, yes, 100%. It's interesting to hear that at Amex, and you would think that perhaps we've all hung out a million times before. No.
At the bar last night, maybe? No?
Right. Yeah.
Mike, you were going to say something.
I was just saying
Same.
exactly what Daniel was saying. I was just saying it's a glorious opportunity, and I think we should all be excited about it.
Yeah, these are exciting times. All right, so as we wrap up, maybe share one thing that excites you the most as you look to the future. Chris, I'll start with you.
Oh, gosh. One thing that excites me the most is I think we're going to see an acceleration of organizations collapsing, meaning rather than IT being a standalone organization from the rest of the departments, I think that we're going to see this continued blending where technology is being infused into every corner of the organization. And if I go back and I leverage someone much smarter than I am, which is Warren Buffett, and he once referenced that accounting is the language of business. Yeah. And you must be proficient to be successful. And I would further expand that to say that technology is the second language of business. Yep. And so as we have these organizations start to converge and proliferate technology departments into the rest of the organization, it's incumbent on every technologist to also become very business savvy and to level up the business acumen and understand the finance of the business, the go-to-market structures, the competitive forces that the biggest business is facing. Equally, on the more traditional business roles, everyone must be a technologist. And understanding how to leverage technology, understand what's coming out, what's in the future, so that you can work together jointly with those in your organization to just accelerate innovation. I think those are the things I'm most excited about.
Yeah, great point. Mike, your one thing.
I'm just jumping out of my shoes here. Let's be honest. I thought that I had hit the lottery. starting my career, really growing up in the internet boom, right? Watching companies transform overnight. Hell, I helped do that to these companies. And what's happening now with Gen AI and cloud transformation is that on steroids. And I think the great opportunity that we have is taking advantage of how we have our partners take advantage of that. Customers take advantage of that. And it's kind of scary, right? It's actually moving so fast that people are on the sidelines, both customers that are trying to figure out this technology, partners that are trying to deliver it, because of the pace at which it's growing. And that is the opportunity that we have. This is the moment, right? It's not a technology wave, all right? I think we can all agree on that. This is a tsunami of transformation that's coming. And honestly, I am going to take that bull by the hook 'em horns, all right? Shout out to Texas. And I am here for that. Without a doubt, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
The exciting thing is staying in front of it to the point you're making, Joe.
Yeah, I completely agree with him, which is, what's so exciting right now is that I feel like the pace of the market, which is so fast, is finally at the level of the ambition of the channel, because the channel's always been, so ambitious. And to Mike's point, again, I feel like I keep saying to Mike's point, but, we've been talking about transformation for years. I mean, how many slides have we all created about transformation? Well, the thing is, it's not theoretical anymore. It's actually real.
Yep.
And that is so exciting. And for the partners that are out there, that understand that and that move fast and take advantage of it, my goodness, the world is your oyster. It really is. And for providers that are, channel first, we're here to make your life easier. We're here to be your fast lane. Super exciting.
It is kind of a Kodak moment,
It
right?
is,
And,
yeah.
and you want to be on that bull and holding on tight.
Yeah, true.
Daniel.
So I'm going to start with something that scares me because it does create some urgency with what does excite me. And it's a cybersecurity perspective. We compete against an adversary, and that adversary wants to do nefarious things. That adversary is leveraging AI. Mean time to break out, 48 minutes. The fastest time that we saw in our global threat report, 51 seconds. The impacts of that happening and the fact that adversaries have been able to reduce their cost of an attack by leveraging this technology creates an urgency on us to make sure that we're not thinking about it, we're taking the passion that Mike's got, that all of us have got around diving headfirst into this transformation that needs to happen. I look at our platform and the technology that we're putting in, Charlotte AI, and the impact that that's having on reducing a SOC's cost of operations to be able to meet the speed of the adversary. That is just so exciting that we've got this technology at our fingertips now that we can go and put to good use.
I love that you're there protecting us as we go out and do this stuff, because you do have to have somebody watching everything that's going on and keeping a tight eye on it. So well done. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that allows the others to be up there, right?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Great to hear, Daniel. Well, I want to thank all of you. It has been very informative. It's been wonderful. So round of applause for our panelists. And I thank you. Well done. Well done. Well done.